Let's take you back to Kogolweni now, just outside Mthatha, where former Eastern Cape Judge President Justice Clement Temba Sangoni is being laid to rest. Sangoni passed away last week Tuesday following a short illness. He served as Judge President until his retirement in 2017. Newzroom Afrika's Xoli Mngambi, who is in Kogolweni village, joins us live now. Good morning once again, Xoli. Over to you. Could you tell us a little bit more about today's program? Who's expected to be in attendance?
Well, Ms. Chaba, good morning to you. We have just concluded phase one of the process to lay to rest the late Judge President. With me now is the Minister of Justice, Mamuloko Kubai, who joins us now. Minister, good morning to you. A solemn moment indeed. The former Judge President has been laid to rest. The legacy he leaves behind.
No, thank you very much indeed. That's why we are here, and the President has granted the province the status of the official funeral, because this is one remarkable individual. He's a community activist. When you look at his work, how he's been able to help, one of the things I pride myself when I talk about the TRC cases, the second TRC case that was won by NPA was literally helped by Judge Sangoni to reconstruct the advocate then Mtunzi, who's now currently speaking for NPA. That's the second case. Quite difficult, but they were able to get experts helped by him to be able to help to do that. The work that he has done for activists, helping them, representing them, those who were tried who were arrested and imprisoned without trial, he would represent them. One of the people that actually he represented as well supported the current president of the ANC Women's League when he was arrested, amongst others. And he didn't do that only for ANC cadres. PAC group as well, comrades who were arrested of PAC by the apartheid government, he would represent them. And another thing about him, it's about transformation. You know, long time ago, before we can even have codes now, he would ensure that senior counsels who are silk would have juniors that are being trained, especially women, that he would in his law firm. So he trained quite a lot of women in his law firm. So there's quite a lot about him that we can say clearly. And I was saying to the team, you know, we're currently in a process of doing traditional courts regulation. He's one of the people who lived the two lives, who could even contribute. And I hope we'll still find that it's a sad loss because he was one of those that I identified that as we do this work, as we consult, because I'll be coming here to meet the traditional leaders, you need somebody who understands the jurisprudence and also who understands the traditional leadership, and to have been able to find a balance in an environment that many are battling.
And those are two roles that I understand the former Judge President straddled quite seamlessly. As he went into retirement, we're told that he focused much of his attention on the traditional council. Minister, there's something that we obviously cannot overlook, and that is that the Eastern Cape bench is in a bit of a fix at the moment, given the issues that surround the current Judge President. Interestingly, Judge Mbenenge is here today, but we're not here about those issues. I'm simply asking you, how do you intend to rebuild the stature, the image of this particular division, particularly with the foundation that was laid by the man we are laying to rest today?
Look, as President emphasized the independence of the judiciary, Minister can't interfere, can't rebuild the judiciary. They are going to have to rebuild itself, led by the Chief Justice. And I do believe they are doing a fantastic job in terms of rebuilding the confidence. CJ was here even in the Western Cape in Mthatha Court to meet with the judges there to support them. There's quite a lot of work that is being done. It's an unfortunate situation about Judge President Mbenenge, but we do believe that we'll pass that and be able to have leadership that is stable, that is able to lead the judiciary in this most critical part of the province. Eastern Cape is one of the vast provinces. When we look at a number of incidences, whether you talk about issues of child who are committing crimes, you are seeing a lot of numbers here, and therefore the judiciary and access, issues of access to the judiciary, where the courts are, in terms of distances and all those things. But also the growing issues that we are seeing that we are concerned about, the killing of people. Just a few days, we just heard that the VC of Yusu has been killed. So you do need a stable and strong judiciary to help us bring justice to many who are looking for it. And I am confident that that work is underway.
All right, Minister, I have to let you go. Phase 2 of the funeral service is about to begin. Thank you very much. You can go that way, Minister. Thanks indeed for your time. All right, Maschaba, let me quickly bring back into the picture a family member now and a familiar face in our parliament, Princess Kusela Digo, and I say that because she is of royal blood. I'd like to talk to you as a family member today, not as a member of parliament. We are laying to rest someone that you would have referred to as Utatum Dala. Explain to the viewers your relations with the late Judge President Sangoni.
In fact, Xoli, I never at all referred to him as Utatum Dala. I referred to him as Utata. The retired Judge President, now late, is my dad's brother. In fact, my dad comes immediately after him. He is the brother that's often referred to when they say that him and his brother Zilindile started a law firm. They were 3 years apart. We grew up never being able to tell the difference in terms of biology, which father is which father, because both of them literally raised us. And I think after my father died in 2012, Udada then took over, the role that my dad would have played. So for all intents and purposes, in English, he's my uncle, but he's my father.
Yes. It must be a difficult moment, though, letting him go. Yes, he was old, but still, this is your father, as you referred to him. How's the family holding up?
It's been hard. It's been hard, but I think that we draw a lot of lessons from how he taught us to live. I remember when the news came, it was a Tuesday morning at about 4 o'clock in the morning. The first thing you think is that, but what do we do? How do we get over this? And if you knew him, you know that he would tell you to just get on with it, and we woke up and we started doing everything that needed to be done, because that is what he would expect us to do. In the family, the values that he left us with, the ones of unity, of solidarity, of justice, of building one another. I think that is what has kept us over this last week. I know that it's not going to be easy because, he was the head of family, he was the patriarch. We all knew that nobody messes with Utata, and even any waywardness that was there, Utata was always there to make sure that was dealt with. So it's going to be hard, but I think we release him with gratitude in our hearts. He had a long life. There's nothing that we can ever say that he didn't do. He's done his work, both in the community, both in the family, in the judiciary, in the legal fraternity. He's done his work.
Thank you very much for your time, Princess Kusela Digo. As we let you go, please proceed that way. Let me bring then my final guest, Chief Vulisango Panjwa. Chief, good morning to you. Again, condolences to the broader society or broader family of Qokolweni. You were telling me earlier that the late Judge President, of course Chief in this particular instance, dedicated much of his work now, or much of his life, to the chieftaincy. Explain to us a little bit the legacy he leaves behind in terms of his traditional leadership. I'm going to ask you to just... yes.
Thanks, Xoli. Thanks, Xoli, and thanks to your viewers. Amongst his legacy that is leaving behind Unkosi Dilizi-Ntaba, he had preachings that say traditional leaders must lead by example. The second one, traditional leaders must do away with dependency syndrome. They must spearhead projects that can be able to sustain us and also sustain the communities. For instance, we've got a third road here, that's his efforts, whilst he was still in the bench. And then we've got clinics. We've got new projects that are coming in now that he has started whilst he has just retired. So we were still looking at him just to get a lot from him as the traditional leaders and also as a broader community of Abatembu in general.
finally, as we conclude the conversation, the viewers will probably be curious as to why this tradition. So we're talking about phase one.
Yes.
He had to be interred before it is midday. Explain to the viewers the significance of laying to rest someone of royal blood before the sun is really up. Yes, it is up, but it's before midday.
Exactly.
Just explain that to
It's
us.
an old tradition. I remember during our great-grandfathers, by this time, it was over. And then, but now, because of we have to have services and all such time, but it says before 12 or by 12 o'clock, at least the great sun must have been laid to rest. So we're adhering to that. That is why we've started to come here, and then we can, the phase two, that is the service of the speakers. But otherwise, by the old tradition, we should have not been here.
Yes.
Should have been just stuck, and then there, we bury him, and then we wash our hands, then we get inkobe, do you know inkobe, that we eat, and then we go.
Yes.
Yeah, but now, because of the time, now we have to have speakers, we have to have lunch, nice foods, but in the olden days, it was not there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Enkosi.
All right. Well, Maschaba, I hope you have gotten a sense of why phase one had to be done, and I deliberately asked that question lastly because everybody now has gone up, and phase two of this funeral service, which is, by the way, a state funeral in part, is now going to take place. Let's hand it back to you for now.